Falling for Vermont is a really good film. This is the Hallmark film from 2017. This is directed by David Winning and is written by J. Baxter, Shaun, Zaken, and Michael G. Larkin, with a cast including Julie Gonzalo, Benjamin Ayres, and various others. And this is about a character called Angela. Her book has been turned into a film, and she's overwhelmed by all of this media attention, and she has a really busy schedule. She has no time for herself, so she decides to just head off to Vermont to clear her head. And on the way there, as she gets there, she gets into an accident, she develops amnesia, and spends time with the doctor, during which time she's known as Elizabeth, because obviously nobody knows her name is Angela. I have just realised, I can't remember if they addressed this in the film, so somebody please tell me if they did. Does that mean she didn't have her driving licence with her? I've also seen other films like this where a character gets into a car accident and develops amnesia. They don't know her name, usually as a female, and they don't think to look at the license. Please tell me if that was addressed in the film. I might have overlooked it, so I cannot say that it was a fault with the narrative, but certainly if you can overlook that, if it is an issue, then it's a really enjoyable story. These films are often quite good fun. Maybe they're not always the most believable. I've seen quite a few films, I think some of which are Hallmark, where the protagonist does get amnesia, and they play out in a way that's maybe not realistic, but it's still enjoyable, it's still great to get to know the characters, and obviously as the protagonist gets to know about themselves, we learn more about them, but also we tend to know more about them than they do, and that's a really interesting dynamic, and that is certainly the case here for Angela. And of course there might be some love in the process. Probably not the best time to fall in love when you have amnesia, but again, if you can suspend disbelief, it's a pretty good story. Gorgeous locations. Not filmed in Vermont, according to IMDb. I don't know if any of it was filmed in Vermont, if there were any establishing shots or anything, but according to IMDb, it wasn't filmed in Vermont. And we have some really great performances, really likeable characters, lovely lighting and camera work, some really lovely autumnal aspects as well. It's a great film. As I said, these kind of films where the character gets amnesia, rom-coms like this are not always the most believable. Many rom-coms in general are just not the most believable. There are often a lot of coincidences and cliches, but I don't care with this kind of film. I watch it for the enjoyment factor rather than the reliability in terms of medical accuracy. But nevertheless, I enjoyed it. I thought Falling for Vermont was a solid narrative, decent characters, enjoyable story, visually stunning. And if it sounds like a film for you, then I'd say it's one that's worth watching.